meant to have it be a bit of a better fade out, but gotta love it. What is up, people? It's JMR Games. I am better known as Josh on the internet. I'm here today doing the first kind of stream stuff that I've ever really done, TBH. This is all rather new to me, to be honest. I am, let me lower the music a little bit here. On kind of everyone's end real quick. Spotify, chill for a little bit. Alright, so I'm here today because I was very tired of editing through the crossword. I was editing, that video should be going up today, hopefully, or tomorrow. However, bit of a pain in the ass of a video, having to do just a lot of post-processing, editing stuff with it. So I decided, you know what, let's just have an excuse to actually do some streaming. So we're gonna be doing the EDHREC crossword today. Go check them out. Just, you know, EDHREC.com, crossword. New crossword every Friday. Let's dig into this. So crossword, that's goblin behavior. Hope you got your thinking caps on this week. We're plumbing the depths of magic history and unearthing some dastardly clues, but I'm sure you'll ace the puzzle. Don't forget to share your accomplishment when you do. Reach out on social media to share your thoughts, and don't forget to log in order to track your stats. We'll be adding more features in the coming weeks. Keep an eye on for that. Thank you, Nick. Let's get into the crossword. Oh, all right. So definitely a bit of a smaller crossword than we saw last week. Let's see here. Where do we start? Well, I think we start from number here 2 down. A cookie-based slang term for Orzhov colors. Cookies are, you know, Oreos are black and white, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Oreo. Could be another name for inverter of truth. I really don't know. A kind of verdict from New Capenna that punishes counterless creatures. I am struggling. I know the art. It's like a big old gavel coming down. I can also kind of see the Streetwise Mentor and Cat Citizen. That's really annoying. Where else we got here? Fencing, Kitsune, Gearshift, and Pulsar Squadron variety. I think it's gonna be a ace. Where else we got here? The creeping varieties seen several reprints in Visions. Pretty sure it's gonna be creeping mold. Part of a judgment cycle, not anger, glory, or filth. So that's wonder as the blue one, which means we're left with Brawn. There we go. Mael sang one on Alara about really big creatures. That's the Naya enchantment. That's like, if you get something with like 20 plus power, you win the game. That's gonna be Arya, I think. I just really need to post the stream in some other places real quick before I start digging too deep into it. Where's the homies over in Girl Pod? Let me get that together. All right, cool. That's over to them at least, and then sure over there, and sure we'll be over here. Yeah, let's continue playing. It's just was tabbed out real quick there. All right, what else we got here? 5 is gonna be of selves, of shared souls, of the blood chief, or of the 6th pride. It's gonna be the blade. I think it's like Rico or something, but that doesn't sound all right. A descriptor for legless creatures like junk or tower. Let me think of Winder. It's like a big old worm thing. 9 down, you can back to it, commune with it, or glimpse it. Nature. As it turns out, nature is very glimpsable. Do this to find the horizon or the wilds or on arena only new knowledge. Into? I don't think that sounds right. What's the 13 across? Shardless, Blighted, and Opposition. That's going to be agents, I think. 15. This type of elemental from 5th Dawn makes life difficult for flyers. Oh no, I should know this. I'm an elemental head. This elemental from 5th Dawn? That's crazy. Alright, let's go a little easier one. Planeswalker Route. It's me Zarek. Oh my god. Z-A-R-E-K. There we go. 19 across. He exercises his right to bear arms. I'm not sure. Oh, 14 down. I think it's going to be Seek. Yeah, Seek, because that's, you know, pretty... Yeah, because you can Seek an arena. That's the whole gist with that. 19 across. I still am not sure, but it's 19 down. Empty these with a high storm count to clog the board with goblins. These will be the Warrens. Oh, his right to bear arms, werebear. With that goofy reminder text, or not even reminder text. The let me edit these real quick for stream info. Crossword and deck building. There we go. All right. We got those Warrens. 16. You are already dead. Krark's other thumb cares about when you do this with dice of any kind. I think that'd just be roll. Yeah, that makes sense. Formerly a lush forest in Dominaria, currently the Shattered Isles thanks to the Brothers' War. Is it not Yava? It's not Yavimaya. Okay. I'm not totally sure. I don't know enough about lore. Cat Warrior Ojanen's last name? Oh god. I don't know. Brunar knew if I find you in trouble if I came out and looked for you. The Halcyon Witness, known for exchanging your life total with its power. I can see it from original Dominaria. I can't think of it though. 20, the last name of Commissar Severina, Warhammer 40k legend. Love playing this in tokens. We got Severina Rain here. It's bigger than it thinks, and it can kill you with 3 arms tied behind its back. Ogre, maybe? I don't know if that's right, though. 21 down. Argovia? No. I don't know. Joven's weasel-like buddies probably used for burglary. God, I don't know that. What's 27 down? The aura of this name gives the keyword of this name, making it a scary prospect for blockers. I think it's literally fear. Yeah, scary. Power balance artist Saint. I don't know that. Deck archetype nickname characterized by combining Urza's lands with big colorless spells. This is gonna be Tron. Love Tron. Hazazon would never say it's coarse and rough and irritating. It's everywhere. That's going to be sand because he loves deserts. Let's try and figure out some of these other names here. The type of dynasty we saw in Kamigawa's second go-around. It's going to be Neon. 37 slang for a massive combat step, an Alpha Strike, or a full send. 28 down. I still don't know it, unfortunately. That's annoying. We'll figure it out, I guess. Oh. Ferrets. Okay, gotcha. Why is that? That's a lot of E's. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think it's Zur Ojanen. 25 down. It's a bear toy, and there's a friendly one from Duskmorn. Not sure on that. Let's see the rest of these. 34 across. Universes Beyond brought us triple the Capitoline and the warring varieties of this. That's me, the Triad. 36 across. Artist Higginbotham, known for unique sculpted art I see on Closet Gix. All these artist ones I'm just going to have to like look up, I think. 25 down. Bear toy. I can't think of it. Oy vey. 21 down is the Lush Forest. What's 22 down? Back to Car Slums, you'll do things twice and blank one result. You're going to ignore one result. 26 cross. Set code for the only expansion to date. That's all creatures only. Legion, I think it's going to be G. LGN, I don't think sounds right, but... oh, this is Argoth. Yeah, there we go. It thinks it's bigger than it thinks. This feels like it should be ogre, but the spelling seems wrong. It's not Agaroth for... Okay. It's not like Dauntless. It's 12 across. A battle bond rules term describing you and your BFF should you have one. You are a team. Oh, damning? Oh, I guess org sounds right. 15 across here. Still not totally sure on that elemental from Fifth Dawn. Let's see the rest of this. Rigo? What's this? Lee. The Mardu colored vampire legend turns blood into power. Lucia? Licia? Oh, this is the tornado. Rigo, I don't think sounds right, but sure. 25 down. What a certain creeping pit's made of? I believe tar. Is a bear toy? A teddy? Is kin to all. Well, there we go. We solved this in 10 minutes. All right, shit. I'll be honest. I was expecting that to take a little bit longer, but nice to know that it didn't. However, I now feel a little stuck for time, because I was expecting that to take a little bit longer. But anyway, not too bad of a time for the second EDHREC crossword. Without having to look up anything too, that's nice to know. All right, so solve the crossword. Now on to the next order of business. Deck building. I am not quite a very frequent deck builder, but there is one deck that I have wanted to try to mess around with. This is gonna be Tough Metal Bending because from pre-release I happened to crack a copy in my prize. My prize packs were kind of mid, I'll be honest, but I got the Fancy Art Toph Metal Bender as well as the Mythic Boomy that gives your land creatures extra combats. So I figured, why not dive in and try to build something with it. Let's go find Toph. Where is it? Yeah, first Metal Bender. Here we go. Give me for paper. Yeah, we have the command zone card. So let us dig into this and see what we can smash together. Alright, so obviously I want to get Boomy in here. Where is it? Boomy Unleashed. Here we go. I also from draft pulled the Hard-Headed Teacher, which honestly is probably not that bad. Being able to Earthbend on any spellcast, I feel like there's like a Cheerios type thing we can do with this. And the other couple things that we might want to include. Obviously a bunch of artifact synergy stuff. I mean, for the sake of it, for the sake of just like simplifying this, what do I want to go find here? We want to shove in like not Yavimaya. Non-token artifacts. Let's see. We want a Shaya because that will extend out to our creature artifacts as well. To give stuff tap abilities. Let's also throw in Yavimaya. So our guys can actually tap for something here. There's probably some other goofy stuff we could include. I mean, Dryad of the Elysian Grove probably isn't that bad. The weird part, though, is that I'm not quite sure if this deck is necessarily going to be heavy lands or if it's going to be... I need to check my audio levels real quick. Because I feel they've been low this whole time. Okay. Okay, so input should be coming through there. Bump of the BGM a little bit. I think it's been a little soft this whole time. But yeah, just give a shout in chat if you can hear me. I'm still kind of new to the stream and stuff, and I just wanted to make sure. But let's go. Where else do we want to go here? We have Toph here, which I think honestly, Hard-Headed Teacher along with the commander is one of the most important pieces of the deck. What's that mythic green guy from, I think, Origins? It's Woodland Bellower, I think. Does it search power or is it for mana cost 3 or less? That's annoying. Unfortunately, it's kind of nice because we are in the colors for Imperial Recruiter and what's the other recruiter? Recruiter of the Guard. But I think the pieces that we're trying to find here are like they're just a little too strong to just get tutored up instantly. There's probably an eggs type thing we can be doing with this, especially with the ones that actually crack themselves. I wonder if you just look up egg, if that will... Hell yeah, let's go. ID, we're looking for Naya. Alright, cool. Put it in paper. There we go. So part of his Wait. That's funny. We could just like loop Apple of Eden with Toph. As long as we can That's funny. As long as we can keep gaining life, I guess. That's pretty silly. Let's see here. The spell bombs probably aren't that bad just because they could, as lands, just tap to crack themselves to draw, but then it's like, well, then what are we trying to get back, hypothetically? We probably do want to include in Amulet of Vigor, just because that's going to let all of our lands enter in, or all of our artifacts enter in untapped, technically, which means we're probably also playing Spelunking in this. We're playing like a bunch of this land support just to enable like more artifact nonsense, I think. Is there any kind of funny thing we can give lands or land abilities? Of course, Black Lotus funny. Clue stones aren't, I think, gonna be that great. Yeah, okay. The eggs aren't gonna be as good as I thought, just because we need to be able to tap them for mana as well. We also probably want a handful of ways to actually earthbend, or at least more consistent ways to earthbend. Let me close the crossword. We don't need that now. We want... I mean, what are the good eggs? Oh, hold on. Legal commander. That's what I need to do. So we don't get all the weird stuff. Expedition map probably isn't that bad to play, since we can just like tutor for any land necessarily. Synthesizer's a funny card. Just because we can continually like sack it for Samurai and then have it re-enter and then get more cards out of it. What is kind of cool is we do get to play stuff like Death Shaker Titan, which I'm starting to learn, which I'm starting to love, is like a very let's do like finishers here. Like with Boomy, yeah, Boomy plus a Shia means infinite combats if Boomy gets to stay alive. Speaking of, we probably have to play like Lightning Greaves just to keep him around. I mean, pet pick, but I think our Wildcat Captain is going to be pretty good in this deck. Just the fact that it'll be like, well, I don't know actually, because non-token artifacts. The only thing with Sammy is that we don't. I don't know. Let me think here. I really should have posted this onto Instagram. Let me do that real quick. I forgore! Ah! Yeah. We'll do a better job next time, I guess. Let's see. None of these guys are gonna let permanent center untapped outside of exactly Spelunking, I believe. Oh, Horizon Explorer actually is probably worth it too. Just to have another way to basically lower our artifacts re-enter. The goofiness, I think, is... Okay, I'm trying to think the way we have to do this. If we have a way to generate infinite mana, and then a way to cast a spell or spells infinite times, Toph can let us loop any given artifact hypothetically. Because we go specifically with hard-headed teacher and metal bender. So hard-headed teacher is going. Oh, actually, now just I'm thinking. With all the counters, we'll probably be like thrown around. Honestly, I mean, like, why not both Ozoliths? To be honest. I mean, regular Ozolith is extremely funny when we earthbend it because it's just gonna have all the counters it's been storing up for the entire game, and then eventually go, all right, swing out, fucking kill you. All right. What is the... All right. More places. Should have posted all this earlier, but I kind of ran out of ideas. Welcome to the chat, or another viewer. I can't see on mine whenever someone pops into view. But we are currently building out Toph first metal bender here. Yeah, TCG. Anyway, let me think here. So in the world where like we can like connect, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Like we want to be able to loop with Toph. Is I think maybe the end goal, but we also need ways of like making a bunch of mana. Well, I'm trying to think here. I mean, it would be incredibly funny throwing in like Nyx Bloom Ancient with a with like a bunch of mana rocks, because those just mean now everything is tapping for... Well, no, I think... No, Nyx Bloom is already adding triple mana anyway. I'm thinking the stuff's like when you tap a land for mana. I mean, Depth Shaker is kind of funny, because then just our non-creature... Yeah, because they'll be non-creatures, then they can be... They'll be lands, the whole board just has a Shia protection. A Shia is pretty big in this deck, honestly. It might be worth playing like Tooth and Nail, just to have more consistency for it. And also, like, we're in green anyway. We can probably ramp to the 9 anyway. I'm looking on, like, a lot of, like, red-green stuff. What kind of fun white cards can we play that have lands? I know this is the one that, like, is up in price right now because it's, it has, like, the synergy. Let's see here. Allosaurus Rider is incredibly funny if we wanted to, like, birthing pot it away. Yo, wait, hold on a minute. Birthing pot would kind of slap in this. Because, like, we can turn our... We basically can, like, use Toph to turn our guys into... Yo, wait, hold on. Birthing pot actually might kind of slapping this. Also, like, we could always just sack Birthing Pod to itself to find a 5-drop. Wait! Wait. We can use Birthing Pod to get to Ashaya. Holy shit. Or Booby. Wait! Wait, we're cooking. We're cooking. Birthing Pod, when it becomes a creature, can then pod itself away. Because it's not sacrifice another creature. Hold on, we're cooking. We could also run Oswald to... Oh my god, hold on a minute. We might... This deck might actually be kind of spicy with just like all the tutoring it can do, hypothetically. Because Oswald can... We might actually... I wonder if we play... I'm trying to think here. What, like... I mean, okay, I guess obviously we have to play... we gotta play Soul Ring, I guess. And, Arcane Signet. And... Command Tower. Okay. What else do we... What else do we want to do here is, I guess, the burning question. Because, I mean, Birthing Pod is very funny. I mean, I guess we can also jam an Enlightened Tutor in here because we are an artifact deck, kind of. Just to make our lives a little easier there. God, yeah, Birthing Pod in this is really funny. Do we have a lot of ways? Huh. I mean, we could jam like Protean Hulk in here, I guess, if we're already doing all that searching. God, I don't know. Something I would love to be able to abuse like this whole Birthing Pod thing, and then like Oswald can sack off a 0-drop. I mean, what are some good 0-drop artifacts? I mean, they can all be the eggs, I guess. I mean, we could just jam an Ornithopter, maybe. What else would we... I mean, I guess, yeah, Bauble. Like, just a bunch of eggs. Engineer Explosives as a Bauble effect is really funny. Welding Jar is probably not that bad, just because it doesn't even need to tap. It just sacks itself. Yeah, Welding Jar is probably fine in this deck because we can just go cool, protect a guy, and then it gets itself back. The one downside is just like we really need just like more ways to Earthbend, I think. I just don't think there's that many. I mean, in Naya. I mean, I guess we have to play Bossing Say. As a sorcery, though, God, that sucks. That feels really bad. Man, all of the earthbending stuff just doesn't feel that great, I think. Earthshape is kind of a hot instant we could jam in. I mean, it's also protection too. Yeah, Earthshape is probably worth playing in here for the as like a protection tool. Earthbender Ascension is, I mean, it's like free ramp, I guess, and earthbending. Boomy is a little situational, I think, because I just don't think we're going to be playing that many lessons. Bossing say it. I mean, I guess Badger Mole Cub is pretty good. The problem is just it only does the one Earthbend ETB. It's also $50. Kyoshi's kind of cool. Draws a bunch on its own. 6 mana is a little expensive. Like, the whole thing is that we really need, like, repeatable earthbending. I guess, like, Earthbending Master is a thing. Solid Ground is an earthbending thing that also pumps counters. We're not really doing that much with the counters, though. Is kind of the issue. Like, the counters are just kind of nice. I'm just not as big a fan, I guess, of, like, the, Oh, definitely Amulet, definitely Arcane Signet. Birthing Pods. I love the Birthing Pod synergy and the Oswald synergy. So, obviously a couple 0-drops. I guess we can also throw in, like... I mean, yeah, throw in Lotus Bloom. Because, like, that becomes a land. We get to Earthbend it back in. Is there something where it's like whenever you sack a land, do something? Aggressive mining's kind of funny, but I'm not sure if I'm a fan. Green Warden. Green Warden's probably not that bad because it's basically like Panharmonicon, but for our artifacts, so then we can just play Panharmonicon on its own anyway. Just more redundancy. Zeus's Many Journeys. Bear Umber's kind of funny because that lets us untap a bunch of stuff. Blossoming Tortoise is pretty good in here too because that'll let our artifact activated abilities reduce by 1. Bootlegger Stash might be worth playing too, potentially, maybe. I'm not totally sure. I'm not totally sure with Bootlegger Stash because that feels pretty expensive for 6. I guess the upside is like we don't... That basically lets our artifacts now tap for mana, which might be a way to do the infinite stuff. And I guess hypothetically, we could... we can... I guess the benefit to all of this is like Oswald can help search. Let me change the art on this. Card extras. No. Yeah, switch printing, please. I want this art. Okay. The upside is like Oswald could theoretically like get us the artifact that we need from deck, and also he's not that bad to get out, which I think actually means we want to be playing Imperial Recruiter and Recruiter of the Guard, because Oswald and Toph are like secret partner commanders in this, I guess. Let's think here. What else do we have here? Burning of Jinye is pretty funny. That is incredibly funny. Because we do just get to, like, sack 4 artifacts, and then our opponents have to go, oh, well, there goes a bunch of my lands. Chromatic Lantern, that's probably another one that has to make it into here. 2-letter lands, tap for anything. Maybe we even play Prismatic Vista, or Prismatic Dawn, I think. Prismatic Omen, that's the card. because we really want our lands to be able to our artifacts to tap for anything, which is, I guess, part of the other reason why I'm including in the Dryad of the Elysian Grove. I just don't think there's that much like land stuff specifically. Unfortunately, Toph doesn't extend to the graveyard. It's only just stuff. Corsair Crewfix might not be that bad. It's just incidental life gain, I guess. Where do we want to go? Devastating Summons could be a little interesting. Just because we could just sack off artifacts instead. And I guess there's also the thing of, like, Wake the Past and Open the Gates. To just bring back all the artifacts that are in the yard. Maybe I should play Commander Sphere, because, like, where's... I don't know. I feel like there's got to be a better way for, like, card draw that's just, like, doesn't need to be tapped. What else? I mean, I guess, like... Not island, geez. Plains... Mountain... forest, just to get all of our basics in there. Like, the whole thing is maybe, like, trying to see... Huh. Dune Chanter's nice? Because it just gives our artifacts, like, the ability to tap for mana. If they can't already. Cool. Early Harvest could be interesting in this, but I don't think with Omen... Yeah, they're not... They don't become basic lands. They just are every basic land type. So it doesn't quite work out that way. I mean, Fable Passage, just to, like, recycle the passage constantly. God, it just sucks there's not a way to, like, repeatedly Earthbend outside of exactly Toph. Maybe in that case we play, what, Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares. Wish there was more ways to find Toph. Oh, we could play the, what, the Canyon Guide? What the hell is he? Great Divide Guide. That's the dude. There we go. He's a mana orc himself. Give each land, which extends out to the top. Artifact lands. I mean, yeah. I guess we fulfilled it in here too. Just turn every... We basically just, like, cheat on all the supermassive, like, land payoffs. Fecund Green Shell is probably fine. I'm trying to think here. What are some interesting... Let me think here. Huh. Tortoise might be... pretty abusable too, honestly. Just because, like, it just reduced the cost and stuff like Chromatic Star, and well, like, what's the other one? Chromatic Orb, I think. Chromatic Sphere. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, we could just play this like eggs. The problem is, like, also... I'm trying to think here, like... Is there, like, a Cloudstone line we can do with this? Tortoise is, like, the big piece, I think. Buried Ruin, also, before I forget. Let's see here. I mean, like, Solemn Zoe is not that bad. What else can we throw into here? Gaius Balance could be kind of cool. But that's a lot of sack triggers for us here. Hazazon could be cool, but not everything's gonna be a desert. Ice Till is probably whatever, I guess. Let's see. Ignition Team, Innocuous Researcher. Can't cast spells, that's crazy. Are we so down bad to give the artifacts abilities we're playing Joiner Adept? At that point, I might as well just play the what's the thing? Let's just play Dryad at that point because I get the extra land drop too. Yeah, I mean at that point, just jam it in there, give it the basic land ability. Ooh, we might have found our way of, Interesting. Okay, hold on. We might have found something here. Colony Gem. From original Zendikar. On ETB, returns 2 lands you control to their owner's hands, but can tap to add 2 mana of any one color. So, with something, with another artifact that can that can go mana positive, which would probably be Soul Ring, or I guess like any 0-drop we have on board. There's something we could cook with Colony Gem here. This thing I think could easily be a very important combo piece. Because importantly, we can, like, it'll be spellcast, so we could then do stuff with Toph. And then get, like, a bunch of, like, Earth, you know, all of our triggers back online, basically. In that case, I'm probably Krark-Clan. I think it's with a K every time. Krark-Clan Ironworks. Okay. That could be interesting. Where else? Leyline Binding is a bit of an interesting piece of removal in this deck, because worst comes to worst, it's like with all of our basics out, it's like Banishing Light. In best case, when we have like a Prismatic Omen or a Dried effect in board. It's just like a 1. It's just for 1. That's pretty good, honestly. That might be worth playing. Loomer, I don't think is as good in this potential list, which is a shame, but the card's awesome. Manascape Refractor is definitely interesting. Not Confluence. Reflection. Right? Mana Reflection's the your land staff tap something for mana and produce twice that much. Okay. I think we're just gonna play this as just like big mana. Just massive mana numbers. Where's Nyx Bloom? There's Nyx Bloom. Okay. Yeah, so with Nyx Bloom plus like Colony Gem, we just get to go infinite mana there. With like Mana Reflection, we almost go infinite, we just have to like find one more piece. Lithoforming, I think, is worth? Question mark? Is it? I don't know. We get to sack like artifacts instead of lands. Like that's kind of the whole onus on this. Nature's Will. Let me think here, actually. I mean, there's probably some lines here with like Aggravated Assault that just win us the game. The question I guess is like we're doing all this like what's our deck count at right now? We're at 50. That's before lands come in. Before I think of like other, let me think of like some Beast Within. I think it's probably worth like a Force of Vigor deck because we like deal with some stuff that I think we actually just kind of get hosed. What is the like Mass Calcify is the big one I can think of. It's like what's Trail non-white? Okay, I need something that like destroys all non-lands. Just because I want to be able to bend into that whole like upside of protection. What's we doing here? Price Progress is very rude. Primal Order. Quicksilver Fountain, probably not. Rada's kind of funny, but I don't think throwing it all into one creature is going to do quite the same job. Riftstone Portal should make it into the deck too. We can't really tap for red easily, but giving the artifacts tap for Selesnya seems pretty good. Let's see here. Last Stand, that's whatever. Road to Ruin. Root Path, Purifier. I don't think it's worth it in this deck. Because it's like... I just don't think so. Sandstone Deadfall, sure. Scholarship sponsor. Each player that controls fewer lands than the player controls the most lands. First library, not quite. I mean, Scapeshift is funny. To just like sack some artifacts and just go dig for some more lands, which honestly probably isn't that bad because I think there's a couple of lands we actually really want in this deck. Or to go find, and then plus with like Prismatic Omen type, we could like get Valakut and just. This also turns into whenever an artifact, non-token artifact enters, to just beam someone down. So that's pretty. I didn't seem that bad either. I would like to dodge like Scoot Swarm kind of stuff, but it's like that just seems obvious. Honestly, that feels like you're actively limiting yourself. Just more ways to abuse landfall. Stoic Farmer, Spore Burst, not really that great. Summon Titan is funny. Give something plus a billion, basically. Feast and Famine might not be that bad either, because it basically gives our artifacts, artifact creatures vigilance. And honestly, Pro Black isn't that bad of a protection ability. Sylvan Awakening isn't that bad, maybe. I'm not sure on Tectonic Split. That might be a little too much. Terra Eternal, I mean, yeah, but it's like... I mean, I don't know. What it doesn't make the commander indestructible. I mean, it makes the artifacts indestructible. I don't feel like the biggest fan of that. Plus, this thing's going up a little bit too much right now. I don't know. I don't feel like it's all that fantastic. Traveling Chocobo, sure. Verge Rangers, Vidalcan Shackles. Vidalcan Shackles is kind of funny. Ward of Bones, Warlords Elites, Wandering Stream, Wave of Vitriol, Weight of Spires, Weathered Wayfarer. Wayfarer is maybe worth just the land tutoring. Zakama is funny just because it... Okay, also, I guess we play Ren and Realmbreaker too. Because it's just... We're gonna have like so many effects that just give all your guys the tap ability, which seems pretty important in this list, honestly. I just don't know if like 5 is too many. Zakama is pretty silly. I mean, okay. In the... Alright, in the hypothetical world of, like, playing Mycosynth in this, which then is going to make every non-token permanent a land under our control. As long as we have a way to then tap it for mana, I don't know, we could always, like, just, I guess, bounce Sakama back and just, like, loop that way. Doesn't draw us a card. Doesn't draw us cards, though. I don't know, is there any, like, whenever an artifact enters effects in Naya? Nope, don't want that. Let's see here. Aeon Engine would be incredibly funny. That would be incredibly funny. You just keep looping the turns back and forth. Let's see here. You could definitely just have with modular to move the counters around after you've earthbent them. What else are we throwing in with this? Are we sacking off that much with biotech specialists? I mean, we're sacking off the artifacts, but like, I don't know. I'm trying to think like, what other land synergy stuff could we do? Ooh, bright glass. One or less? Bright glass is probably worth playing in this deck just for like the dorks. Also, because it's a force, we can pot it into a Shia. I guess I do need to actually consider pod lines in this deck, huh? Or I guess like, I don't know, like Oswald lines hypothetically, maybe. I don't know. I mean, Canoptic Spider is no. I mean, it need to be like whenever a land enters to do something. Because as is on this, it's still a little goofy. 59. Let me think here. Like in terms of like land count here. Let me think here. Radiant Summit for the. I'm trying to make the mana base not crazy expensive. Is there any other like goofy lands we could play with like cool? What would the? Fuck. What would our like? What's some good lands be playing in the sun? Coveted Jewel is a funny combo with Colony Gem once we start getting doublers out. Because 4 and 6, they tap for 2 and 3. So if we can, if we have Nyxbloom in play, we can just draw the whole deck. That is funny. Cursed Mirror might be worth as like a copy. Because also I guess the incidental like, you know, hits something maybe. Edgar might be worth playing just to have some more recursion in this. Let me just group out my mana value. Just have a better look here. Where are my lands? Yeah, Radiant Summit is what, Overgrown? Is there oh, is there a Radiant Summit for like, what's the tagger on this? This Treasure Vault's probably fine. Yeah, Oswald seems pretty worth. Tortoise definitely seems worth. So I guess like what we really want 3s to pot away, I guess, like the recruiters. Scoot. Oh yeah, Scoot Swarm copies. That kind of slaps. Duretti. Huh. Duretti might not be that bad either. Sack off a Earthbent dude. Get back a better artifact in the yard. Oh, actually, hold on. We could also be playing Old Duretti too. Where's Scrap Savant? 4-drop? Yeah. Yeah, shit, hold on. We can, like, bait all these, like, sack artifact cards. We could just, like, have the Earthbend and then get them back. But, we definitely want, I think, we probably want more 3-drop guys just to make potting into Toph easier or ways into Toph easier. Because I really do feel like getting into Hard-Headed Teacher is going to enable, like, half of this deck. It's going to make it, I think, flow infinitely better. Is there anything else goofy here? I mean, you social engineering and what's the other one? Like Zendikaar's Royal. I don't like that they're all like 5 mana. But I guess hopefully that like we just ramp out that much faster. Speaking of ramp, I just realized I don't have a lot of ramp in here already. I also don't have the lands figured out yet. That's annoying. Let me see here. Rampant growth. 3 visits. Nature's Lore. 3 visits, Rampant growth, Nature's Lore. Cultivate, Kadam's Reach. There's not a lot of white in this deck, I'm realizing. There's got to be something we can do for that. I guess like what? Skyshroud Claim. It's like a 4-drop. Is there? Yeah, I was gonna see. Is there like a tagger? Is there a Tango land for this yet? No, we don't have the rest for Naya. Oh, we have Canopy. We have Canopy Vista Cinderglade. Okay. And then what's our lands at right now? 14. Is there any other like cool utility lands we could be jamming in this? I guess Talon Gates is pretty funny. If it's an artifact, we can just sack it off to something. Oh, we should have. There should be some more artifact sack outlets in here, I think. What do we have? I mean, the deserts could all ping. We have some like little life gain. We have some scry. Vestige might be the the most important one, just because it like makes mana on ETB. Cabin could also be good because it's actively making more artifacts. The bounce lands are kind of funny in this deck because we can bounce back artifacts with good ETBs. I don't think we really have many of them in this, though. At least right now. It's mostly just like all utility dorks. Huh, there's got to be a better way to build this. I don't think I have a great build together right now. Hey, good seeing you, Tony. Yeah, there's some Skylands that are okay. Yeah, if I was gonna play like, I'd probably play Crumbling Vestige, honestly. If I was gonna play like some weird That plus like Talon Gates, because a lot of the, you know. There's also the Surveil lands too. Those are pretty good. Lush Portico, Commercial District, Elegant Parlor. Yeah. We got 19 lands, and we have, what, 18 slots left. Alright, so we can fill in the rest with, like, just basics until I can figure out some better lands in there, theoretically. I do like the idea of... I mean, the problem is, like, you want to be getting out Toph as soon as possible. I don't think that's always happening, though. I was not really sure in terms of the density of, like, good artifact ETBs we have. We just have, like, a lot of just land stuff. I don't feel that confident. Like, we're just accruing value, like, really slowly, I guess. I mean, if I was gonna throw some in, maybe, like, the, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think here. Just, like, artifacts of the good ETBs. Which is, like, gonna be the decent amount of artifacts in the game. Like, return a land? Or, Sylvan Safekeeper is probably not bad in this deck, right? Because, it's sack an artifact. It basically turns, like, sack an artifact, protect a thing. Yeah, that's probably worthwhile. Do we have any good, like, sacrifice? We should have a bunch of, like, good land sack stuff. We just had a bunch out of like the last set, or out of the stupid the Jund deck, I'm pretty sure. Edge of Eternities. Jund of Eternities land sacks. That stuff. Let me think here. Sacrifice this land, or sacrifice a land. What do we got here? Spyglass. Yeah, doesn't feel that great. Baloth Prime. Oh, Baloth Prime could be kind of interesting. Maybe it's I mean, big old 10 drop. But basically we could sack lands and stuff for it. Crop rotation is pretty enough. Crop rotation might actually be worth playing. Sack an artifact. Bring up, get lands from deck. Cycler Renewal might be worth playing too, just because we can. The question, I guess, is like, what good? Because the whole premise here is like actually having worthwhile artifact ETBs to work with. Like, Bright Glass is okay. I mean, even something that's just like draw a card is probably fine. TB honest, TBH. This feels really weird the way we have to build this. Like, Simulacrum's fine. I don't think I'm a big fan of Shattered Spire. I don't think we need it. We kind of need Badger Mole Cub. Elvish Reclaimer is probably not that bad either. Just for like more land tutoring. Harrow's like whatever. Need for Speed's kind of interesting. Just for the give something haste, sack an artifact. God, I wish there was more ways to abuse earthbending. Because it really just feels like it's down to Toph and like whatever other earthbending guys there are, which is like, oh, not that. ID Naya. Like, you've got Bossing Say, I guess, for a land to do it, but it's sorcery speed, so it's really slow. But I guess we need to play it, I guess. Sandbender Storm doesn't feel that worth it. I guess we gotta jam the Earthbending Steel. It's probably not that bad though, because giving everything Vigilance is probably worth. Let me fill in the rest of the lands before I like start bleeding into my accounts. Was it like 14? Yeah, hold on. It's like what? That's fine. All right, cool. I'm not impressed with the current build. I don't feel great about it. I don't want the table. Bracket info. Yeah. Like, okay. 34 lands. Might be tolerable. We don't have a lot of removal here. Let me try to like think here. The best removal would be like having. Let me think. What other angles could we work with here? Royal and engineering. Every time a non-token enters, we're going to make a dude. A dude of some variety. We could also jam in the Final Fantasy one with that. Which might be better than Royal, honestly. It's like, what, Chocobo Racetrack, I think? Because the Chocobos are all, Oh, it's an artifact, too. Sick. That's probably even better, actually. This thing can be a creature as well, and also makes just better 2/2s. Because they will continue to... It'll be almost like a Cathar's Crusade. Alright. What is our... Alright, we can do, like... combo shit. We don't have a lot of, like, X stuff we're getting into, though, and I feel like we're also really lacking some card draw. Like, we don't... I don't know, something about, like, whenever a land creature deals damage or something. Like, whenever a land creature deals damage, draw a card. Because I can also be like the artifact things. Wake in the Woods, Tortoise, Sinkhole. Embodiment of Fury is kind of nice. Just because it'll give... yeah, I mean, Fury and Insight are pretty nice there. Planar Outburst is nice. Unfortunately, not as much stuff as I would like of... drawing cards. I feel like most of the land ETB stuff would be cool. I feel like most of the really good like draw stuff. That's so annoying. Ah, man, I just am like not sure how I want to build this. To be honest. Let's see, sacking lands. The Shivan Whumpus, funny. Squirrel Wrangler to make squirrels. Springloom Druid to just like harrow ourselves. Worldbreaker might be worth the include. Because we're probably making enough colorless that we can just jam that in and just like keep returning it back and cycle stuff out. Yuma isn't that great. Zern Orb, I guess, is a free sack outlet for our artifacts for life gain. Trap Digger's very funny. I wish there was a little bit more, a little more teeth to it, I guess. Okay. Some more card draw here would be nice. I think I do need to like include as many ways to give artifacts tap for colors. Let's make a category. The Dune Chanter, the Dryad, is Badger Bowl actually that good? Like, like, you're really just here as an Earthbender, which is a little annoying, to be honest. growth, nature's lore, Kodama's reach. Actually, let me. This is sorcery ramp or spell ramp, and then yeah, I don't know. I'm not liking bootleggers now. I'm looking at this more. Where's the Horizon Explorer? We need removal. Let's see here. We got Path to Exile. We got Force of Vigor. We have Beast Within. We could probably get away with playing Blasphemous Act in this, honestly, just because like our creatures die, but at least our land artifact guys get to come back. You're also an Earthbender. Land tutoring. Which we have with the, where is it here? The Reclaimer as well. Where is Recruiter of the Guard? There's Recruiter of the Guard. Where's the Cave Landsman ability? There we go. Where do we have Scoot Storm? Where's more of our tutoring stuff? I thought I had it over somewhere. Oh, down there. Okay, sure. Bright Glass, go over there. Yes, you're also land tutoring in a weirder way. This is pretty tutoring. Thatch ramp. Lanterns over there. These are in protection. Nope, come on. There we go. Coveted jewel. I was with this kind of protection, I guess, because it's maintaining all the counters that were like moving off and around. Maybe I don't actually need like a crazy finisher. Where is the next plan? Extra value with that plus the Green Warden. Edgar is in kind of in the recovery. Oh, I thought recovery to have a thing for recovery. Guess not. Okay. Interesting. Fuck. Okay, we're good. We're safe. Crazy. All right. Well, let's see. Maybe Dreddy isn't that great, but I mean, it's like, what's the best artifact we're getting back now? Because I took out the bootlegger stash. Actually, where are you at? Give Lance Man ability. That's a little important. Dreddy, we don't really have like a crazy artifact thing we're pulling out. Like Sammy's whole thing is like choke the board with cheap artifacts, and then bam, you have like a bunch of like crazy, just like crazy resources. Toph, I think, is trying to go for more of the value game plan of just like incremental value on stuff. We just don't have a lot of card draw, though, is the problem. I don't know whether I'm not sure if it's whether it's like one of our land ETBs or I guess we can just like look up Landfall and just see where that gets us. Landfall and Naya. Game or legal commander. I guess we could just throw in Avenger Zendikar just to like make a bunch of dudes. Felidar Retreat would give us more bodies. I don't know if we care too much on the proliferate side. Maybe we do. Green sleeves isn't that bad. Just to like make more bodies. Lotus Cobra. But it's like, what else we... I mean, if I could find a thing that we're actually like drawing cards with, that would make this feel a little better, I think. We just don't really have a lot of I just feel there's a lot of card draw going on, though, is the problem. Which feels really kind of weak in this type of deck. I mean, Omnath, Locus of Rage is pretty nice. It's really only carrying on the landfall stuff, though. We're not really making too many elementals to burn with. Huh. Didn't realize Black Chocobo is just unconditional get a land. Any land. That's kind of crazy. Tanic, I guess, is okay. It's technically card draw, but it's more so for, like, burning the table. That's probably not that bad, actually, because, like, we get enough, like, artifact loop stuff. We just get a machine gun. Toph is... We probably have to play Toph Earthbending Master just to have more ways to Earthbend. What are we at? 104? Yeah, no, we're over limit. We gotta figure out what the cuts are. Valak Exploration is kind of card draw, but I don't... It's kind of dependent on a few things. I mean, like, what ways do we have to draw? What ways do we have of drawing cards tonight? That seems a little... Oh, my lord. I should have been a little more specific, I'm realizing. I mean, aggressive mining, I think, is funny, but I also don't think it's quite the card we want to be working with. Alms Collector? No, that's not quite what I'm looking for. Sellsword, not great. Vestige. Vestige may not be that bad. Anti-causal. This thing leaves, so if you like flicker it, that might be worth playing, honestly. Archivist, I mean, sure. A lot of like the artifact ETBs might be worth, like, Aurelia's fine, but probably too late in the game at that point. God, Bang Smear might not be that bad, actually. Just for, like, the one of random card draw. Battle Mammoth might not be that bad, just for, like, the card draw stuff. The Skull Bombs might not be that bad either. I think we'd really want, on ETB draws. Black Panther is pretty funny, because with Toph, it turns into move a bunch of counters onto an artifact creature and then make it big. Or move from target land, so you just like move the counters around. That's funny. Like 3 mana is a little expensive for that, though. Brainstone is... God, are we playing Brainstone? Jesus, I didn't think I was that damn bad. Tunnel Grinder might be okay, but I'm not like gassed about it. Hypnotic is fine, I guess, but also still just it's a lot of mana. I would just really like to be able to, draw cards before the, end of the game. Conjurer's Bauble, just to, like, have a pretty repeatable egg for card draw. Coveted Jewel is technically card draw, but I don't want to be dropping 6 on that. Plus, if we get attacked, then we're not feeling great about it. Maybe I, like, shove the Colony Gem Jewel into, like, sideboard or something. Because, like, it's funny, but I just don't know if it's worth. I love the combo. It's so goofy, but man, I don't think it works. I just don't think it works out that great. Disciple for at least is kind of cool in this deck because you can sack off something, minimum draw 2, and get the artifact back. That might be worth jamming. It's expensive, but could be worse, I guess. Like, I really think I'm just looking for an artifact that, like, on ETB can draw a card, but I don't think... Okay, Elsewhere Flask. That's... Wait a minute. Elsewhere Flask might not be that bad. Because it makes your lands all become that land type, which means you get to give your lands the ability to tap for mana and get this back in. Wait, hold on. That might be worth playing, actually. Hold on. Elsewhere Flask. Yeah, hold on. That might be worth playing. That might actually be worth playing. Unfortunately, we don't really get, like... Oh, you know what we need? We need Terra Symbiosis. That's our card draw on this. That's our card draw on this deck. That's our card draw. Because it becomes the creature, then puts the counters on it. And this turns to draw 2 every end step. That feels pretty good. Minimum. Let's see here. What else do we want? Are we really going to have anything enter is the issue. Optimistically, we like find it really in like artifacts. Golden Egg, that's probably not that bad either. With man, I just wish there was a better way of Halia might not be that bad. That's still 5 mana. I'm trying to find some like lower cost card draw. I mean, Horizon of Progress is kind of a like not a bad land. to loop back. Instant ramen would be very funny to put in this deck. Oh, wait, hold on. Iron Spider might be kind of interesting in this. Because we can remove the 2 counters off our guys. They become 0/0s. They die. But because they were earthbent, they get to come back. That's to be off artifacts we control, though. Actually, that's not the worst thing, because we can just, like, store up counters on Ozolith. That's interesting. That's an interesting idea. Maybe word. All right. I think we have gone through a good chunk of brewing for Toph today. Might save that for the next stream. Because I really wasn't sure how much I'll be streaming for. I think I might just give it 2 hours for this initial stream. But if you're still around, thank you again for sticking around for the time being. Am I going to have a regular sleep? Am I going to have a regular stream schedule? I don't know yet. I will figure that out down the road. But thank you all again for watching and sticking around. If you want to help support the channel, check out the link tree. It has a bunch of affiliate links like with Nerd Gear. They're doing some stuff for Black Friday. Like, I think it's like a playmat 2 with the playmat sanctuary. Buy 3, get 1 on their sleeves. They also releasing some new new little dice counters. But yeah, if you like the stuff, subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out my other stuff. And hopefully, I'll see you guys next time with more cardboard-related content. But remember, always hold up some mana to counter the Toph. I'll see you guys next time.